Okay, and we are back with WrestleMania Night 2. Our predictions for the buy one, get one WrestleMania event of the season. I am your host, Dana Abercrombie, once again joined by Mr. Ricardo Negron, or Black Richard. How are you doing?
Doing great. We're getting two WrestleManias for the price of two because that's how they do it these days. The tickets are so expensive, so expensive.
And then they dropped it, and then nobody is I don't know, maybe hours, maybe now they'll start buying? I don't know.
I mean,
Who knows?
you're definitely gonna have like, I mean, there's always fans that will show up the day of and hoping to get
Mhm.
tickets and stuff. So I don't think they'll fill it all the way, but let's see.
Well, this is WWE, so no matter what, there were 72,000 people on night one alone, and then night two is 100,000, 20 people. So boo hoo, your tickets. We're just making up numbers here. Uh,
Basically.
so basically, we're gonna kind of just jump on in this with a big surprise because it was a surprise to us. Randy Orton open challenge. What do you think? Could it be Nick Aldis? Or is it someone else that's mysterious?
Okay,
Mr.
well,
Richard?
so this is a bit of a spoiler. So uh, there's been word that Rusev and Lana are in Las Vegas. So it would make sense that Rusev could be the challenger. I kind of want to see Nick Aldis do it, but I think what will happen is Nick will come out and he will say like, I have a challenger for you, and then it'll show that it's Rusev. Um, and then Rusev goes over because you don't just have the guy come back and first match lose, and I don't think Orton would mind putting him over. Um, if it is Nick Aldis, Orton wins that match, of course, but I don't think Aldis is going to wrestle. I think it's going to be Rusev.
See, you and I was on the same path, except for I had someone different. I was like, Nick Aldis is going to come out there with his wrestling gear on and just be like, psych! And he brings out the action wrestler. You said that it was Rusev. I thought it was going to be Aleister Black because we know he's coming,
So
and it would make for a darn good match.
Alistair would be a very interesting one. The only thing that made me kind of skeptic of it is I don't know if you've noticed they've had these little vignettes showing.
Uh-huh.
They had one that said 425-25, and
Uh-huh.
that has me thinking that that's when he debuts or re-debuts, I should
Yeah.
say. If it weren't for that, then I would have called it a coin toss between Rusev and Alistair. But I'm fairly confident it's going to be Rusev. But I like the idea of Nick Aldis kind of teasing the idea of him going to the ring and then being like,
Uh-huh.
uh-uh. You
That
wish.
is true. My other wild card would be Bray Wyatt. Oh shoot, sorry, wrong Wyatt. Bo Dallas.
Oh,
That would be
Uncle Howdy.
crazy.
If he
Uncle
was
Howdy.
came back, yeah. If he came back healthy, yeah, that would be great. But like, I feel that as far as like Howdy and the Wyatt Six, if they're bringing them back, they're gonna save it for Raw. Raw after
Mm.
Mania. Um, that's what I think. But man, I just thought about something that kind of gives me a little bit of goosebumps.
Mhm.
Is the last time we saw Bray Wyatt in a match at WrestleMania was against Randy Orton, and that was when Alexa Bliss betrayed him. I remember like him just kind of staring up at Alexa like like what the fuck? Why did you do that? And I remember I was confused like why did they do that? Like it didn't none of it made sense.
Nothing
But
made sense though.
yeah, you just gotta
Yeah.
accept that's the way of things. But yeah, I'm interested to see who's this mystery person. I mean, it could be Rusev, it could be Alistair. Could be all this. It could be someone we haven't even considered yet. But Rusev would be my guess. And you said you're going
That
with
is very
Alistair?
true. I'm going with Alistair, even though it says 425, but that could be like it got moved up because like Kevin Owens got injured. He can still make that debut on 425.
That's
But
true.
yeah, but
Yeah.
no, I also do like Rusev. We haven't seen Rusev in so long. He was so underutilized in AEW. And then God only
Yeah.
knows what they was trying to do with the whole Lana situation. But yes, I don't care at this point. I want yours as well, or AJ Lee. But yes, that would be interesting. Kind of moving on from that, we do have our pick a match, pick a match, pick a match. Oh, I know that you're excited for this one. I know that you called him the greatest wrestler of all time. It is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I see. Here's the thing. I will admit this. Logan Paul is very good on that mic, even though everybody hates him and he's still kind of terrible and awful. I do like the fact that he gives a good presentation to wrestling. He can't wrestle, but he gives a good presentation to wrestling. And I think AJ Styles is equally as matched, except for he can actually wrestle. Um, I just feel that AJ Styles wins because, like, what even is the point? I kind of forgot this whole thing even existed. I'm not sure about you. Um, Logan Paul's heart doesn't seem like it's really in it. He has so many different things going on that I would just appreciate. We keep it focused on the actual wrestlers. AJ did say that he is winding down and he is retiring soon. So why not actually have him win? It's Logan Paul. Just have him win. And plus, he's a phenomenal wrestler. Ah, ah, ah. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you as far as like Logan Paul is, you know, not a fan of him outside of wrestling or whatever, but he does a good job playing the heel role. Like he does the character work well. He's very athletic. Um, and for a celebrity, he's a good wrestler. I wouldn't say he's a good wrestler
Uh-huh.
in general, but for someone in his position, he does a pretty good job. Um, that having been said, AJ Styles is like a future Hall of Famer, and still a great wrestler to this day. And yeah, I mean, I'll say AJ Styles wins, but I'm kind of like indifferent to this match in general. I don't have a lot of interest in it.
Oh my. I forgot it was even a thing. But yay. So then kind of moving on from that, let's put a little gold. Let's add a little gold to our predictions. We have, of course, the triple threat match that no one really asked for is very confusing because we're just adding people to just add people, signing random contracts that their names are not on. I don't understand how this entire situation went down, but Io Sky, who is the champion, by the way, versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, who got her way in by just randomly signing a piece of paper that she wasn't supposed to sign on, and that is not how law works. What are your thoughts?
I've gone back and forth on this so many times. As far as who's gonna come out on top, um, I've all but effectively ruled out Rhea in
Mm.
this. So I've flip flopped between Bianca and Io. Like it feels like Io being this feels like it's Rhea versus Bianca featuring Io. Like she's kind of the third wheel,
Mm.
and that could be why Io ends up winning because it's like, well, while you idiots are feuding with each other, I'm gonna sneak in the win, and I'm gonna let you two bicker about it afterwards. That makes a lot of sense. The one thing though with Bianca is I don't know how much the company cares about her undefeated streak at WrestleMania. She's 5-0 at the moment. If you don't count any of the battle royals that she was in, and you don't, so 5-0. I think it makes sense to just have Bianca lose and not have this undefeated thing carry around, because that really affects like the booking. Um, I think booking wise, it makes sense to have Io retain, because if the plan was to have Bianca leave WrestleMania as a champion, there's no need to have Io in the match to begin with. It could have just been Rhea versus Bianca this whole time, but they put Io in it, and I think it makes sense to have Io just retain it, and Bianca and Rhea can continue their thing. Um, so, see, I'm like in my head. I'm like I'll say this. Like even when I saw the WrestleMania kickoff, when the three of them, my head was telling me Bianca. I was like, I feel like Bianca has the momentum here, and that they're gonna try to turn her heel. But I don't think this is the spot to do that, because the spot to do that's going to involve Jade, and Jade's not going to get involved in this match. So at least I don't think she will. I think this whole Bianca Rhea thing is kind of like to distract people from Io, and Io's going to sneak out with the win. So, and like I said earlier, you can't have everyone lose their belts. Some people have to retain. So I'm going to go with Io retaining. How about you?
Let me tell you, for me, I predicted the same thing, but I have a loophole where
Mm.
both Io retains, Bianca's undefeated. Io pins Rhea. Therefore, Bianca was never pinned. She still has her streak intact. So it works for me that way. I feel that yes, Io's gonna look at this whole situation because she's been an afterthought, and she's the one who has the actual belt. This entire time, she's just been this afterthought situation. Rhea has steamrolled her way into this match where she does not belong. And I don't know what's going on with Triple H. I know I'm criticizing, so boo-hoo me. But I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking. I think that he had something that was already established, and maybe it's like I love Rhea Ripley with all of my heart that I'm putting in her match in this match. Darn it, how dare she not have a WrestleMania moment? But it was not necessary. So I feel in order to rectify this situation, Bianca and Rhea are going at it as they have been doing this entire feud. Where Io's like, "Hi guys, hi, can I get in for a minute? Hi." And she, while they're busy trying to kill each other, she just ends up doing probably a fruit roll up of the situation, and that's how she wins. And I kind of feel really bad for her because she deserves that spotlight. It's literally WrestleMania, and she has the championship, and no one's thinking about her. It's so darn sad. But I want her to retain at this moment, and Rhea and Bianca can do whatever they have to do. But also, one of the things that I'm wondering this. We do have the Jade and the Naomi match that is going on, and we do know that, remember, it's the big three. Is Jade gonna feel some kind of way and now mess up Bianca for in her match? I don't know. Or is at the same time is Naomi gonna be like, hey, remember when I said Bianca and it got slammed and you never came to my rescue? So now you and I have to feud? That's what
That's
it
a
kind
good
of
point.
feels like.
I think if we have any shenanigans like that, it'll be Naomi coming out first, and then Jade coming out, and then Bianca being like, "What the hell are you guys doing out here? You're distracting me." And that could be how she gets taken out of the equation.
Io.
She leaves the ring to bark at them while that's going on. Io's pinning Rhea, and then it's like, so it could definitely be something like that. I like your thinking. I like your thinking.
Thank you. And see, this ends up into either a match for Evolution or SummerSlam. We have Backlash also coming up as well. So, yay. Which,
Absolute
by the way,
cinema.
Randy Orton. So this is how we continue the feud. Oh, I love it. See, I should be one of the bookers. I don't know, and I'm not going to insult the fans. If you don't like it, I'm going to be like the whole Vince McMahon of the situation where I'm off of social media, so I don't care.
Exactly.
That's the one thing you can admit. He was busy pooping and peeing on people's heads. But he wasn't on no social media, and he didn't care
Hmm.
about your opinions, and he didn't insult you. He insulted you with the matches and the finishes, but he didn't call you names. Just pushed some heat on you. Lord, this turned very dark.
Oh,
Okay, we have to move on.
we move on.
Let's
Yes.
not. Please move
Let's
on.
not get canceled here.
This is. We gotta get canceled. Um, let's go. Okay, are you ready to go into the streets? Are you ready for a little sin on the streets? Because we have the Sin City Street Fighter match between Damian Priest and Mr. Drew McIntyre, which I'm pretty sure Drew McIntyre the entire time is going to be thinking about CM Punk. What are your thoughts?
Oh, this one's kind of a tough one. I feel like Street Fight is kind of something up Damian Priest's alley there. No pun intended. Um, but but Drew McIntyre, like I feel like they got to do something with him. Um, and Priest has already gotten in one on McIntyre last WrestleMania, so this would be a chance of McIntyre kind of getting a little bit of payback here. Also, pun not intended. But I don't know. I'm on a roll today. But
Oh,
I
another pun because we're in Vegas.
rolling. Yes, goodness, we're just it's crazy. Yeah, stop us now. But uh, I'm gonna think about this for a second before I give you an answer. I want to hear what you say first. I might steal your answer. But go
Okay,
ahead.
you're gonna steal my answer. Okay, so we have bisexual Undertaker versus Drew McIntyre, who we know is still thinking about CM Punk. I feel that Drew McIntyre mentally is the underdog in this situation because remember the whole world is against him. Remember he won and then he lost and then he won and it's just back and forth with the situation ship. That I feel the only way for him to win is to actually win. And I think he's gonna take all of his frustrations out on Mr. Damian Priest. And it's going to be a one. I'm really hoping that it's a great match, by the way. But I feel that mentally he needs this more. Now, at the same time, I feel that Damian Priest, WWE doesn't know what to do with him. They knew what to do with him in terms of he was in a Judgment Day, and that kind of fell apart. I don't think that he really needs to be in a faction. Dom and Liv are doing their own little thing. Finn Balor, I don't know what's up with him. Is he's doing whatever. What was it? Was it Dutton? Sutton? Somebody else was also in that group too. But if I can't remember who you is, are you really a group? I don't remember you. So I feel that at this moment, Damien might be continued to be a little bit lost in the shuffle, and that is sad. But I think that Drew McIntyre truly needs this win, and he may go ha 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 to CM Punk, but this is something that he does need. Damien, I feel that the way that he is booked doesn't really need this, but he can still shine in the match. And I'm kind of wondering, will there be an interference? And by whom will it be? Because the CM Punk does not care about this man to interfere in this man with this match. So it's like, who will be there? I don't know. But what are your thoughts? So my thing is, it is going to be Drew.
I like that. So like I was kind of leaning towards Drew. There's part of me that's like, if this is kind of a clean match where there's no one else involved, it would make sense to have Priest win it. But you can
Mm-hmm.
have someone interfere, and that sets up Priest's next feud, right? And Drew wins, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a way of kind of protecting Priest and giving Drew the win. Um, and because it's a street fight, it's a no disqualification. It does leave that open to something like that, and so then it becomes like, is it a member of Judgment Day that interferes, like I don't know, like Carlito or some
Mm.
shit like that. You never know, but
Mm.
I mean, it would be kind of an underwhelming feud, but could be something like that. But you've convinced me. I'm gonna go with Drew, and I think that makes
Oh,
sense.
okay. Yeah. So Drew it is. And by the way, when they say street, I want this whole thing to be inside a casino. What is the purpose of being in Las Vegas and it just not be in a casino where they're like throwing die at each other and then the slot machines go flying and then like money spills out and then regular people start running in.
Maybe you'll get an APA thing with Farouk and Bradshaw, and
Ooh,
that's how they can play that.
look at you being amazing. And they're both still alive. Yay for living. I love it. I
Yeah,
want that. Look at that. It's amazing. So, kind of moving on with this match, we have coming up. My pages are all over the place. Black Jesus, give me strength. No, that's the last match. Wait, no, we can't talk about that match yet. Oh my Jesus. We have women. Let's talk about some women. Yay. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Here's the thing. For me, I feel like this was thrown together. This was just whatever we throw at the wall. Let's just that right there at one, and it felt like it was thrown together just to fill some time, which is not what I want. All four of these lovely ladies are absolutely dynamic. Um, we do know that Liv Morgan, had an amazing feud with the whole Rhea Ripley. We saw that whole thing with Elimination Chamber where she's just like, the whole time during the match. She gives good face. Means facial expressions, not anything else that was nasty people. But she and I
not that
think
you're
that she has
wrong,
so
but
much
yeah.
heart. Jesus. My thing is that I feel, and I love me some Bayley. We all love some Bayley. But I feel that Liv was given so many chances. It was like almost had it, almost got it. That she needs to win this match and then retain. She's been going through a lot. She, has witnessed a murder, as we have seen. So I just think that she kind of needs this more because the way how they have thrown together Bayley and Valkyria, it's like, okay, you exist. They haven't really done anything for me that's like makes me want to stand up and say, "Oh my gosh, they're an amazing team together." Look at not just their chemistry, but look at what they're doing in the ring, and look at all the people that they're facing against. So I'm okay with Liv Morgan and Raquel retaining for this situationship. And maybe next time you have an entire year. You know what I grew up that I'm now realizing is an actual lie? I thought that once WrestleMania ended, you start the storyline for WrestleMania the next year. That's a whole lie. Because this match was literally put together like yesterday. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Like WrestleMania is really the kind of the season finale of a year's
Yeah,
worth, and then I mean you can kind of continue it in a way, starting with the next Raw, or what have you. That's but that's always kind of felt like they tried to say like what September or August. Oh, it's the season premiere of Raw, season premiere of SmackDown. Bullshit. The season premiere is right after WrestleMania. That's when that's when it is. The story ends at WrestleMania, and you go from there. That's how it is. As far as this match, very little interest on my end. Very, very, very little interest. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Again, Bayley and Lyra, Valkyria thrown together. Like people talking about, oh, Bayley's gonna turn heel on Lyra Valkyria. Even if she does, I don't care. We've already had the Bayley heel run. The face run has been underwhelming right now because
hmm
her entrance theme is absolutely terrible, and I can't. I'm not interested. Um, I don't know much. I don't know much about this match to get invested in it. I'll say Liv and Raquel retain. It just makes the most sense to me. I also see it as a way of kind of rewarding Liv for all the solid work that she's been doing. Um,
yeah.
so, uh, so yeah, Liv and Raquel retain.
Okay. And I'm just so proud of Liv. I love Liv. so much. So yay! All right. So
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Before you continue, I did love Liv in the Elimination Chamber. She was the MVP of that. Like right from being terrified of Jade to laughing at Bianca, like I told you, I told you
I
what.
told you. I was.
She
I told
she
you.
was great, and Liv is actually like a very smart in ring wrestler.
Uh-huh.
Not the most amazing wrestler that you see, but she's smart with how she does things in there. Um, good with working the crowd, good with storytelling. Um, she's grown very very much from when she started. It's been great to see. I know that I've said that during the Elimination Chamber thing, but I've been impressed with Liv. So it's good. It'll be good if she can retain her and Raquel.
I want to see Liv Morgan just come out at the commentator's desk during Jade and Bianca's match and just say, "I told you so," and just laugh throughout the whole match. That would be amazing. But then, kind of moving on, I think this is a little fun one. This is Intercontinental Championship between Braun Breaker versus Penta. For some reason, I have to just say Penta. Versus Finn Balor. Remember when he used to be somebody? Versus Dominik Mysterio. Remember when he was the child that they was fighting on the pole for? Good lord.
Yeah, with Eddie Guerrero versus
So,
the Soul. Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, that's his daddy. That's his real daddy, y'all. It's Eddie Guerrero. Some people are way too young to understand that reference. They're like, that was
Mm-hmm.
Trey. No, it's Eddie. All right, so I am actually torn by this. I am fractured. Finn Balor has not done anything for me for I don't know how long, and we're going on years. I blame that completely on WWE. I don't know whether or not Finn is like, I want to be somebody one day again. But if he is not speaking up, please speak up because you are disappearing. Remember when he was the demon? Remember that? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Braun Breaker is going to just be amazing no matter what he does. He can breathe, and it's amazing. And you saw when they did the WrestleMania thing with the thing, and he came out and did the Steiner math, and it was perfect. And I was like, your daddy is so proud of you. That was
Well, his
amazing.
uncle. Yeah, his uncle.
His uncle. Okay,
May as well be his
I don't
father,
know who
but
that.
yeah.
That's his daddy. I've been saying that man is his daddy since he came out. This is his daddy. Same thing as Dominik. Eddie can be Dominik's daddy. Then what is it? Scott is this man's daddy too. So Penta is having an amazing time in WWE. He's literally just the I'm happy to be included guy. And I genuinely feel that. He's just happy to be here no matter what. But when it comes to who needs it the most, well, Bella needs it the most because nobody remembers Bella. But in terms of like trajectory, I want Dominik to win. Now, will he actually defeat Braun Breaker? No, because Braun will murder him and will murder Liv and will laugh about it, wake them up, and then murder them again. My thing is, we have to go back to the whole Rhea Ripley situationship where you can win but not be pinned. That whole weird thing. I think that is how Dominik Mysterio wins. Maybe someone else does all the beating. Maybe it's like a whole orgy of beatings. Ooh, that went dark. But that is how Dominik Mysterio ends up winning. One on one, that boy is dying. But we have everyone versus. That is how Dominik Mysterio wins. And then Braun comes back during SummerSlam and gets his belt back and kills him. The end. Thoughts?
Okay, so yeah, you pretty much took my prediction. I'm going with Dom. I think Dom would be the most fun. The most fun when, like, for a while I was thinking like the whole thing of Finn and Dom canceling each other out, and that's going to lead to Braun retaining. Well, I'm like, that's boring. You got to have Braun drop this Intercontinental Championship at some point, and then move him up the card.
Uh,
And what better way to protect him in defeat than have him lose the belt without getting pinned? So
Mm-hmm.
why not have a situation where Braun, um, you know, hits the spear on Finn, but Dom drags him out of the ring and pins Finn himself to get that Intercontinental Championship. Like that
Mm-hmm.
would be like having Dom pin Finn Balor is just like the adding the insult to injury there, and you're gonna have Finn side eyeing him afterwards. And that's just going to
Mm-hmm.
continue that whole thing. And I think that like the like Dom is such a fun heel. Like he's so fun to boo. Like I think it's like you have like you have go away heat where like Charlotte, like we mentioned earlier, she gets booed with go away heat. It's like we're just people are just not interested or whatever. With Dom, I feel like he's so ridiculous that like it's just fun booing him, but like people actually like his in ring work. Like he was cheered when he went against Gunther um, a
Mm-hmm.
while back, and I think it's like if Dom wins, there's gonna be a huge pop by that crowd. Um, like and I hope we see it. I definitely hope we see it. So I'm rooting for that. I think like either Dom wins or Braun retains. I don't see Finn or Penta winning it. Um, so I'm gonna go with Dom because I'm rooting for the fun outcome.
Question: any Judgment Day appearances? Because Balor and the Judgment Day is just like they've been feuding. It's not clicking anymore. Do we see an appearance by them?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see Carlito there. He's gonna get involved in the match somehow. That might mess things up for Finn Balor, for example. Um, we've been seeing Carlito get the hell kicked out of him by Braun Breaker and everything. He's gonna get involved in this match. I'm pretty certain of it. So we'll see that. Um, Man, I was kind of hoping that this was gonna be like a ladder match, but this is fine too.
Oh,
This is fine
it's
as it
fine.
is. Let
Yeah,
Dom get the win.
I want a ladder. I miss ladder matches. Bring back ladder matches. But yeah, no, that
Yeah.
would be great. And then I agree. We can see Carlito. Carlito was violated the last time by R-Truth. The man took his
Oh,
apple. He ate his
yeah.
apple.
And then he threw it at him after,
Violation.
like the disrespect.
This is very funny. R-Truth of all people. I love it. Okay, so then speaking of R-Truth's favorite childhood wrestler of all time versus, I guess, would be WWE's favorite son, Cody Rhodes. It is not just a simple John Cena versus Cody. This is heel Cena. This has been what we had the calculations last time. I can't remember. 20 years, 21, 22 years in the making. We're finally getting heel Cena, and we still don't know why, because souls were taken, but no explanation. You know, he's angry at fans. He's not bald anymore. I don't know. So, what are your thoughts on what I would consider the biggest disappointment that has ever existed? And I'm sorry, as someone who hates The Rock, I'm blaming Dwayne Johnson for this. What are your thoughts? I hate that man.
Wow. So you're blaming The Rock for 2 straight years of WrestleMania main events being dramatically
I
altered or
blame The
whatever.
Rock, yes, and since Black Adam, my dislike goes all the up and it goes back. This is a one-sided feud where the man doesn't even know I exist, and I'm okay.
Well, oh no. Well, hold on. Black Adam put you on the map. Did you like have a what do you call it?
A mental breakdown?
No, no. I mean, what do you call it? One of those uh, critiques or whatever was mentioned. You were
Yes.
mentioned by name, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
You weren't able to.
That.
You weren't able to put
Okay.
Black Adam
I
over.
Yes, look, the thing with Black Adam, and it's still, look, them special effects were effective. And that's all I have. That's all I got. Justice
And
for
it's something
Hawkman.
you did your best. You did your best.
I,
But
I did my darn best. I tried. I dug deep in my toes for that one. But I'm sorry. The man done ruined he ruins everything he touches. I don't know this man personally, so I can't say as a human, I don't know you. So I'm like, oh my God, why are you making it so personal? From what I have seen on screen, you are affecting my entertainment. So therefore, we got beef entertainmentally. You have destroyed 2 WrestleMania matches, and this by the grace of Black Jesus, not Black Adam, but Black Jesus. Last year's came through. With this one, what's going on? Why are you doing this to us? Leave us alone.
do you think he's
Ricky,
going to
what's your
appear?
prediction?
Do you think he's going to appear in the match?
Yes, because he wouldn't. It's his ego. He would not go. You say WrestleMania. The man has to fart on something WrestleMania based. So of course he'll make his little appearance. He'll try to put together whatever together to make it see, and then do the press conference. It was the plan the whole time. I was going to show up, and then his explanation, and I had his soul in the bottle, and then I opened the bottle, and then the soul went back into him, and now John Cena is face again.
And we had tequila afterwards.
And we had Terramata,
Yeah.
which by the way I had. That is a strong drink. Now I'm very sensitive, so it could also just be a me thing again. But that is a strong drink. I
I
don't
gotta
like this
try that
man.
then.
Please, it's strong.
Hmm.
It is 2,000% proof.
Gasoline. Yeah.
It is
So,
gasoline.
so my thoughts. I'm gonna go right away and say John Cena wins, and the reason for that is if Cena's not going to go over in this, then what was the point of the heel turn? It's got to be. You could have had Cody versus Cena, both of them as baby faces. Let the fans decide who they want to root for, but they clearly were like, well, we don't want Cody to get booed, so we're gonna make Cena the heel here and do this whole make it obvious. We're gonna we're gonna what's it? We're gonna color by numbers for you because you're not allowed to be a critic. You got to be a fan. You got to be like innocent like a kid, and we're gonna tell you who you root for and who you boo. And you're just gonna like it. So we're gonna. Cody's the new hotness. He's the baby face. He's the guy that kissing babies and all this other stuff. Cena's a thing of the past. We're gonna, all you older folks who grew up with Cena, it's time to get over it. You gotta boo him now. I mean, that's not really what they're thinking. It might just be that Cena's thinking like, let's give the fans what they've wanted for so long, finally, and do that. But I mean, the thing with The Rock, he didn't have to get involved in this at all. His whole like weird, you know, I want your soul. I want you. I want you and me. Like that whole weirdness did not have to happen. Cena could have just gone heel just out of his own desperation. He didn't need to have The Rock get involved in all this. But now that The Rock is involved, Rock is not going to take the L 2 years in a row. So that's kind of this thing. It's like, Roman lost last year, and Rock's not going to let that happen. Not going to let Cody get the best of him again. So he's going to get involved, and Cena's going to win. And even though Cena says like, "Oh, I'm going to take the belt, I'm going to retire," and all that stuff, no, he's not. You're going to see him. He's going to drop the belt. He's going to turn face again before he's really retired, by the end of the year. But I think you're gonna get Cena's gonna win, and they're gonna kind of do it similar to like we mentioned Punk before, how Punk beat Cena at Money in the Bank, and it said like, oh no, Punk is leaving with the belt. What are we gonna do? They're gonna try to play this whole thing like, oh no, Cena's got the belt and he's got it, and he's gonna retire and walk away. What will we do? I mean, what do? You just vacate the belt. I mean, but if you do that, but that's not what they're gonna do. Cena's gonna win the belt. I think it's gonna be cool. Uh, despite his love for a very despicable man, I will
Ciao.
I will still pull for Cena in this, and it'll be a way to kind of end Cody's reign for a year. It's like, okay, you've done your job. Now let's move forward. Because if Cena doesn't win it, like who's taking the belt off of Cody? That's around. So like I don't know. So let Cena win it, and I think it just makes the most sense. So Cena's my pick. What about
Here's your pick.
yours?
Okay. So for me, I feel that this entire situationship has been completely botched. As you stated, we didn't even need The Rock. When John Cena was in the Elimination Chamber and he grabbed Punk and he was like, I'm sorry, right? And he choked him out. That right there is your heel moment. That is to say, I want this desperately. I'm willing to do nefarious things for it. He does not need a rock to be like, I have your soul, and he sold it. How much is his soul worth? Because now I have questions. What's going on? What are you doing with the soul? Is it the same soul that you sold your soul to in order to get on the TKO board? I'm confused. So I feel that completely forget. Yes, he will be there, and I'm pretty sure The Rock is going to take that white belt, the waiter belt, and start beating Cody Rhodes again with it. And this further proves why I love Cody Rhodes the person because of the things that he is willing to do for this company. I love him for this, and this is why he also should need to be the spokesperson. Please take away John Cena's mic because I really did not need to know your love for this man who then allegedly pooped and assaulted all of these different people, and you're like, I just love him. I just can't get enough of him. I don't care what people say. What was the point of declaring that? I'm confused. See, now
Right.
I'm wondering, he's going to just bring out Vince and be like, look, he has my soul, actually. It's not you, Rocky. And then
That
Vince is going to be like, John, you see? This is like, why are we mentioning this man? Why are
I'm
we
terrified of
mentioning
that. I'm terrified of that. Of like how how defensive Triple H has been recently about fan backlash and everything, claiming, oh, I don't care about their opinions, but he sure talks a lot about fans' opinions. And then you have
Nick
I
Khan's
mean,
attacked AEW for breathing?
you got Nick Khan, speaking out of pocket. You got Cena saying this stuff like about Vince, and Vince is not even involved with the company anymore. There's no reason to even mention him. Um, it's like, and you're doing this despite knowing the controversy surrounding Vince. It's like, are they trying to are they trying to like take the temperature and see if it's okay
Weasel
to
him
bring
out?
Vince back? That's the thing I'm afraid of. Are they thinking
I mean,
because of
I don't know.
the way things are nowadays, politically or whatever, it's okay to bring a guy like him back? I hope not, but I don't know. Just what's gonna happen is gonna happen. That's all.
I mean, the wife was down there. Now, I understand it's a very complicated situation, especially when it involves Triple H. That is that man's daddy, his daddy-in-law. But if you looked at that documentary, he loves Triple H more than he loves Shane. And I understand that that is his father. And I understand that that is his mother-in-law. And Linda is what she's doing or what she's doing, and that's what she's doing. But I just don't understand. There is no need for you to answer these questions. The
Especially
man himself
WrestleMania.
knows that you love him. And why are we doing at WrestleMania? I'm just confused about this entire situation. John Cena's been crazy. Who else was crazy? somebody else who I can't remember. Nick Khan, as we already stated, has been acting crazy. Triple H has been acting crazy. And
Roman.
I just don't understand. Roman, Roman, you see, and this is a whole other. We're getting way off track. But Roman has been like, wow, sir, and you have cancer. Just keep. There's no need to just explain. Just skip the question and be like, you know what? Whoever I voted for is my own personal choice. Next question, please. I don't get it. But to go with the match, because that was the whole point of the conversation, is this match. Yeah, at this point, I do kind of feel like, and here comes Vince with the soul, and he got it back. Um, Heel Cena does have to win because this doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
And this is why I really wish that Dwayne was not involved, because Dwayne will just be there to beat up Cody again and to stand on top. And then whatchamacface is there? The Rocky guy, the ASAP guy. He
Oh,
slapped him in his face.
why
ASAP
am I blanking
Rocky.
on it? No,
No,
it's
is it
not
not
ASAP
ASAP
Rocky.
Rocky?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
It's Oh my
oh.
God.
Is it Eddie Rocky's in there?
Oh,
Travis Scott. Sorry,
yes,
it's
yes,
Travis.
yeah.
I
Travis
don't
Scott.
know why I said ASAP Rocky. That was terrible. Travis Scott, we do know that he is there. He has been training to wrestle. So I do see another situationship where they're going to just end up beating up on Cody. And that's how Cody lose. And then you can make the argument, but you see, he lost, but he didn't really lose. So we still love Cody and he's still in this. Meanwhile, Hill Cena is going to run around terrorizing everybody when he wins, which I don't have a problem with. But I feel that they've boxed themselves so much in a corner with this. Where does he go from there? And I feel that, and my thing is this. I kind of wish I never saw that interview with Chris Van Vliet that he did, because he talked about if he ever did go heel, all the changes that would be made, including his theme music,
Yeah,
how he would
Fear My
love,
Name. I think it's
how he
the
would
name of it. Yeah.
present himself to the fans, because what you're giving me, you can make the argument, see, he doesn't have to change. He never changed. It's the people who are changing against him. But just as an entertainment value, because we've been doing this for over 20 years, I would have loved a full change, an immersive change with music, how he's presented, um, wrestling style, whatever it may be. I just wish that there was that change, because you're giving me, yeah, you're a heel, but you're boring. And that kind of was the problem that I had with the regular John Cena. I loved you, but you was like, okay, you exist. And we have not really, they've not really did as much as they could have with this entire situation. I feel that Cody is getting the upper hand because he's just cooking John left and right. He cooked him.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, yeah. This SmackDown. Absolutely.
that SmackDown, he was steamrolled him. It was steaming and boiling and frying, baking and dying. He killed him. But I just kind of wished there was something more with that. So that is my prediction, is that there's heel Cena's gonna win, but give me something more. We have an entire year of this, which I don't even think is gonna be a full year. Because to me, it felt like we were promised an entire year. What is it? 52 weeks of maybe 108 weeks
Mm.
or more of, not 108. There's no such thing as 108. 108 days. I don't know. I can't math. I went to American
You're
high
doing
school.
Steiner math now.
I'm doing Steiner math.
Yeah.
Okay, through 265 plus 99, round off with the 2. That's how many times we were supposed to have John Cena. And I feel like we have just been shortchanged, and we're in the month of April, entering into May, and you've given me nothing aside from this. And last time we had a this was when Orton was 20.
Mm.
So I feel nothing but John Cena, of course, featuring The Rock, Travis Scott, and Vince McMahon.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about with Cena, like what the end game is as far as like who's going to be the one to retire him? It's not going to be Cody. I don't think it will be. Yeah, three possibilities. It could be Randy Orton, who's he had a long, history with.
Mm-hmm.
It could be CM Punk. Could be him,
Oh.
or it could be The Rock himself.
Well, see, well, it's gonna be Rock. You say you put that out in the universe. The Rock heard it. Now he's like, it's me.
So yeah, well, I like he's gonna be like, well, I made you my champion and you let me down, so I'm taking you out. That kind of thing. I retired Austin. I'm gonna retire you next. That kind of thing. It could be something like that. That's if he's even willing to wrestle. Who knows? But yeah.
No, he wants to. No, because we're still getting Roman eventually. Before we die, we're getting Roman.
What, Cena and Roman?
No, Cena and Rock, not John
Well,
and
Roman
Jesus.
versus Rock, but that would be like WrestleMania next year. I'd say. We'll get that. Roman will retire Rock. That's going to be the thing. Like that will be Rock's final match. It'll be Roman will be the one.
Roman's been acting a little weird with his interviews. I know everything has been taking precedent of who he voted for, but Roman is also was talking about he's winding down. I think he has like 5 years left or so. He wants to go. There's a lot of changing of the guard because remember Seth said he wants to go not now, but within a 5-year time span. Seth is going, Roman's going, KO is going. Maybe Drew? I think Drew? But we're going to start getting the changing of the guards pretty soon.
Yeah, having some of those new main event faces coming up. But, we're not quite there yet, but we're going to get there at some point. But yeah.
That's true.
Cena, I think we agree.
Cena.
We'll get his record-breaking thing. And is Ric Flair going to be in attendance?
Oh, I forgot. Oh God, I can't. That's another crazy man. He's so old. No, and that's a good thing. Yay, living. And I'm surprised he's still alive to do that. But he's been like weird lately. I would see him more down for Charlotte than I would for. But it is. Oh, why not both?
Why not both?
Either both. Yeah, because Charlotte wins, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
Charlotte's down there, and then John Cena. He's breaking his fake. It's not even real anyway. There's so many different versions of how many times he does one, but I do feel this. Now that you mention him, wouldn't it be amazing if John Cena goes and gets Ric Flair and beats him up? I'm like, take your. Wouldn't it be amazing though? And like beats him with the belt and be like, ha, I defeated you.
Took your belt.
I'm now number one.
I took your record. I'm gonna take your life.
There you go. That would be amazing. Now that is a heel Cena to me, because right now you're not giving me heel. You're giving me desperate.
And now I don't want to see it happen because Ric Flair would totally blade. He would totally blade to sell that.
He's blading right now. You don't hear it? The skin being separated, the blood pouring out. It's pure like vodka and Hennessy just pouring out right now.
Oh God!
You don't smell it in the air. It's gasoline.
It's that tequila
that tequila. Terramata. He's clean Terramata. So then, that is a wrap on our WrestleMania predictions. And I still am not excited for this show, but I will watch this show, obviously. And I'm pretty sure you're going to watch as well and be like, oh, it didn't work out. Or, yay, I was right. And still not care. So, are there any last things that you want to say, Mr. LeBron?
Well, I'm going to hold out hope that despite the underwhelming build-up to this WrestleMania, that it exceeds expectations, because that has been a thing with WrestleMania before. I mean, I remember 5 years ago, when pandemics happened and we all went to quarantine and they had to do their first 2-night WrestleMania, and it had to be all done at the Performance Center. I had very low expectations for how that was going to turn out, and it was probably one of the more entertaining WrestleManias I'd ever seen. And so this is kind of one of those things where I'm hoping that it will deliver in a way that I'm not totally expecting it to, but you're going to get some moments of magic here and there. I would assume. Um, it all depends on really like how they start off the show, how they end the show, and you'll get some good stuff in between. I think it'll be fun. I don't know if we're going to call it like the best WrestleMania we've ever seen. Um, but yeah, I'm going to remain slightly optimistic.
I completely agree. I'm going to remain optimistic as well. And kind of going back with that WrestleMania during the pandemic, it created the best T-shirt ever. The "I wasn't there" WrestleMania, which I was like, that's so creative. I love that shirt. But yeah, I think that it's going to all work out, and it's going to be perfectly fine, and it's going to be a very enjoyable WrestleMania. And then of course Triple H and The Rock will be like, "See, I told you so." Take credit for everything. Just like, ugh. But yeah, my only thing that I kind of do feel bad for was that y'all dragged those poor lovely talents out for that WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. They didn't end until like 4 in the morning, and everyone was so gosh darn bored, and they fell asleep. Honey, did you see the pictures of everyone just? And then Bianca, she cannot hide her whole facial expressions, and she was like, "Oh, thank God," and everybody got up. But yes, it was tough. Next time, don't do that. Because for us, it's terrible. We can go away and go to sleep. They couldn't. And that room was halfway empty, too. It was disrespectfulness. You don't need to have Hall of Fame the whole same day as everything else. Put it in May. I don't know. Figure it out. But you just don't do that.
Yeah,
Maybe not
I
have
agree.
I don't know. Just don't, because it was sad. But yes, I think it's gonna work out perfectly fine. I think it's gonna be a good WrestleMania. I don't think we've had like a really bad WrestleMania for some several years now, where like people started to like, I'm gonna riot. They've always managed to like make it meh, and meh is better than terrible. So it's gonna work out. So I have been your host, Dana, once again joined by Mr. Richard Negron, Black Richard, and we will see you next time and see whether or not our predictions were right. And talk about the show, whether it was good or bad or meh. So that is our show for tonight. And enjoy WrestleMania.